All right, so in this video, I'm going to tell you why I think Social Security, quite frankly, sucks. All right, and you'll have to let me know if you agree. Maybe you can comment below and let me know what your thoughts are, if I made some mistakes when presenting this sort of analysis to you. All right, so let's talk about why. I'm listening to this podcast right now. They're talking about Social Security, and we're all frustrated with it, but just hear me out. So let's say you go to college, right? And you get a job out of college making $50,000 a year, and you're age 23 at that point in time. All right. So some of you are thinking, hey, if I go to college for 4 years, it's tough to get a job right out of the gates making 50, but I'm not going to adjust these numbers for making more money in the future. So this will be more than reasonable and more than fair in my analysis here. And by the way, if you're wondering like, hey, Navi, where are you going with this? For those of you who don't know, I am a CPA who generally teaches, strategies to save money for small business owners in taxes. Saving money in taxes for small business owners is usually what all my videos are about. And this is going to tie into that here in a second, but just continue to hear me out, right? So you're in college, 4 years, age 23, you get out, get a job for $50,000. So how much do you pay into Social Security, right? What you do is you pay on your $50,000, you pay 6.2% into Social Security. What you may not realize though is that your employer, the company you work for, they also put in 6.2%. All right. So on 50 grand, you're putting in 3,100. Your employer's putting in 3,100. So together, collectively, $6,200 is being put into Social Security for you. All right. Now let's fast forward. You work until age 67, right? Or at least at the time of recording this video, 67 is the full retirement age in Social Security, I believe. All right. So you worked 44 years, all right? So I plugged these numbers into this calculator here, right? I said, for the number of periods, I got 44 years in here, right, that you worked. You didn't have any money in this at the beginning when you first started working. The interest rate, I chose 8%. 8% sort of is like a historical return on an S&P 100, S&P 500 index fund, right? So 8% is the number that I chose. And I put in here that you're earning, or you're putting into this $6,200 a year, right? Because I'm counting the employee and employer portion, okay? So let's say you live until 80, all right? Age 80. Where am I getting 80 from? The average life expectancy in the US right now in 2020, I believe, is 80 years old. You might live a little bit longer. You might live a little bit younger rather. And so what does that mean? That means you started collecting retirement at 67, you lived till 80. So you had 13 years on this planet, right? So sorry to talk about something so morbid, right? So you would have accumulated, if you invested this at something returning 8%, $2.4 million, all right? So what does that equate to? So if you took $2.4 million, you divided it by the 13 years that you have left on the planet, right? 80 to 67, and you divided that by the 13 years, you get $185,000 a year. How much is that a month? That's $15,000 a month. But what would you get out of this fund if you just got Social Security benefits? If you make 50 grand a year for the rest of your life and you go to collect Social Security, how much money do you think you're going to get? I'm pretty sure the number is probably going to be less than 3 grand. I haven't run the numbers, but I'm almost certain it's going to be probably closer to like $2,000 a month, right? Keep in mind that if you had $2.4 million at age 67, you could invest that money. And even if it earned 1% a year, right? That's $24,000 a year. You divide that by 12, that's also $2,000 a month without touching the principal. You think you can get a return on your investment of 1%? Of course you could, right? So what happens is with Social Security is when you die, the government's going to get all the money that you've contributed into Social Security, right? This is kind of crazy, right? So if you invest the money elsewhere, you can live off the interest, live off the rate of return that you get on the 2.4 million. And then when you die, you can pass this money on to your heirs, right? Whoever your beneficiaries are, your children, right? You can leave that money for them and create generational wealth, right? You don't have to die and give the government all of your money. So anyway, how am I tying this all into my other videos about small business and taxes? This is exactly why you should probably be a small business owner. And I get it. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur. But if you deploy the S corporation strategy, right, you're not going to pay into Social Security and Medicare for all of the income that you receive. Some of it will be subject to it, right? But the remainder, you're not going to be contributing into a fund that, frankly, you may not even be able to collect on, right? So instead of contributing to Social Security, you'll invest in an IRA or a SEP IRA or a solo 401k where you can put up to $50,000 in your retirement account and get a tax deduction for it. So again, when you pass on, you can actually give this money to your heirs, right? And create that generational wealth. So if you're a business owner and you want to learn more about the S Corp strategy, as well as all the other strategies I discuss with my clients when they hire me to do their taxes and their tax planning and implement tax strategies throughout the year, I have created a course. It's here. I'll put the link in the description of this video. It's designed to teach you anything about small business taxes that school didn't, which is pretty much everything, right? So you can watch this video, learn about the course contents. Here's what you'll learn. I teach a bunch of different things. I'll let you read it on your own time. Here's the course contents. It's very elaborate. There's a lot of things that you're going to learn in here, the various tax strategies, QuickBooks, how to implement it all that stuff you're going to learn. Click on the link in the description below if you're interested in that. So with that said, I just kind of wanted to share with you my thoughts on Social Security. I get it. We live in America. We're very fortunate. We should contribute something, right? Because Social Security has other benefits. It provides benefits to those that have disabilities and other benefits that we need to kind of contribute to because we are so fortunate here in America, right? But with that said, I don't think the government is really using our cash wisely, and they're not very efficient with any of the tax dollars that we really give them. So excuse me for going on a little, tyrant there, but don't send me hate mail. Don't say, hey, you must belong to this political party or whatever. I just wanted to give you my opinion on Social Security. I want to hear what yours is. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? I'm not a finance guy per se, so let me know in the comments below if my numbers are all off and you disagree. That's fine, okay? Just give me a like if you did get value out of this, if you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video.